Hello everyone, as the continuation of Chapter 8, Test of Hypothesis for a Single Sample, today we are going to discuss 8.3, Chapter 8.3, but first I'm going to introduce myself. I am Prince Denrich Alyabado Gamata, so I'm here because I love to give presentations. Chapter 8.3, Test on the mean of a normal distribution, variance, unknown. So here, test on mean when variance is unknown, when the sample size is small, or n is less than 30, assuming that the sample is approximately normal. T-test in reference to the t-distribution is more appropriate to employ in testing the hypothesis for the mean. In most cases of hypothesis testing, the variance of the population is unknown. In this case, the standard error should be estimated by the sample standard deviation. Associated with this is the divisor n less 1, which we are going to call the degrees of freedom. So that is n raised to negative 1. Denoting the degrees of freedom, we use n less 1. So test on mean when variance is unknown. Let us now consider the case of hypothesis testing on the mean of a population with unknown variance. For this particular situation, we will use S raised to 2 to estimate the value of standard deviation raised to 2. In addition, we have here the formula for normal distribution. Having n less 1 is our degrees of freedom. The critical region is dependent on the level of significance and the alternative hypothesis, whether it is one-sided test or a two-sided test. So we have here our summary, null hypothesis, and also the test statistics on how alternative hypothesis, p-value, and rejection criteria for fixed level tests. So we have here our example. This example is taken from Understanding Statistics in the Behavioral Sciences. So 10 years ago, the average height of young adult women living in a certain city was 63 inches. The standard deviation is unknown. A researcher wants to determine whether the height of young adult women differs significantly from 63 inches. She randomly samples 8 young adult women currently residing in her city and measures their heights. The following data are obtained. So 64, 66, 68, 60, 62, 65, 66, and 63. So here we have the solution. Solving for the mean and variance of the sample, we have mean 64.25 and the variance s raised to 2 is equals to 6.5. So following the steps in hypothesis testing, here first null hypothesis is equals to 63 inches and the alternative hypothesis is it's not equal to 63 inches two-tailed. For this particular problem, we can set the level of significance to be at 0.05. Solving for the t computed value, we have here we have t, we have here the formula until we got 1.39. So critical value, our critical value is 1t is equals to 1.39. And also since n is equals to 8, we have degrees of freedom is equals to 7. Referring to the tables of critical values for t distribution, the acceptance region would be negative 2.365 is less than t, wherein critical value or t is greater than negative 2.365 but less than 2.365. So the computed t value lies within the acceptance region, thus we cannot reject the null hypothesis. So conclusion, therefore the height of young adult women does not differ significantly from 63 inches. Also here, we have also an example. So the increased availability of light materials with a high strength has revolutionized the design and manufacture of golf clubs. So here the ratio of velocities is called the coefficient of restitution of the club. An experiment was performed in which 15 drivers produced by a particular club maker were selected at random and their coefficients of restitution measured. So here we are going through the problem and we have the solution. The parameter of interest is the mean coefficient of restitution. We have the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Significance level 0.05. appropriate test statistics, we have the formula, and also we have the critical region when we are going to compute. Then make a decision. We reject a null hypothesis since computed value is within the critical region. So our conclusion, the mean coefficient of restitution exceeds 0.82. So that's all. Thank you everyone and God bless.